Alright guys, so this is slide number 16. It looks like Malik, the band director for Richmond High School Marching Band, is buying instruments to expand the brass section. A tuba costs $1,700. A trumpet costs 400 or 540 bucks. The total expenditure must be below. So select the inequality in standard form that describes the situation. Use the given numbers and the following variables. So X is the number of tubas and purchased, and Y is the number of trumpets purchased. All right, so in standard form, you have the X's on the left um, and the Y's on the left, and then the number is going to be on the right. So the number that's being compared to. So in this case, we have to be below. So we got 5,200. So the inequality is the part where it gets difficult. So anything to the left, if I write this one, it's going to be greater than 5,200. We actually don't want to spend more than. We got to be below 5,200. So this inequality has to be below 5,200. Each tuba is $1,700 and each trumpet is 540 bucks. All right, so we're going to add 1,700 plus 1,700. So each time we buy um, a tuba, we're going to add 1,700. So it depends on how many. So X would be 3. If there was 3 tubas, we would add 1,700 plus 1,700 plus 1,700 3 times if we bought 3 tubas. And then Y is going to be the number of trumpets that we buy. Okay, so the number of trumpets is 540 plus 100, 540. So it depends on how many 540. So we're going to let the variable Y be the number of trumpets purchased, and this is going to be Y. Okay, so if we add however many tubas we add buy plus however many trumpets we buy, it's got to be under 5,200. So it's going to be this one. Okay, so that's number 8. Okay, so for number 17, slide number 17, Tracy is booking a band and a DJ for a dance and wants to keep the total cost under $1,700. All right, so anything to the left has to be smaller. So this is on the left, so it's got to be under. So a band can play for part of the time at an hourly rate of 120 bucks. So 120 bucks plus 120 bucks plus 120 bucks every hour. And a DJ can play for the remaining time at an hourly rate of $68. So we're going to add 120 uh, and a bunch of 120s. It depends on how many hours. So X is going to be the number of hours the band will play. Is it 1, 2, 3? So we're going to add a bunch. And we got $1,700 to spare. And we're actually going to let Y be the number of hours the DJ is going to play. So it's going to be 68 plus 68 plus 68. And then the number of hours that the um, band is going to play is 120 plus 120 plus 120. So this is the inequality. So it's going to be 120 for the band per hour plus a bunch of hours, and each hour is 68, and the number of hours is going to be Y, and that has to be under $1,700. Okay, so that's the answer for number 17. Okay, so for slide number 18, we have a sculptor is selling her work at an exhibition or an exhibit and hopes to earn at least, this is the keyword, at least $22,000 in revenue. So these are all inequalities. So when we want to gain at least, that means we don't want to make less than $22,000. We want to earn at least. So that's going to be anything to the less. It's got to be at least. That means it's going to be greater because we want at least. How much do you want to get paid? Oh, at least $22,000. Okay, so the small pieces go for 670 bucks. So 670 plus 670 plus 670 each one, and the large pieces go for $1,700. So how many? Well, X is going to be the number. So we're going to write an inequality in standard form that describes the situation. So the numbers are, and the following variables are going to be, X is going to stand for the number of small pieces. So it's going to be a number. How many small pieces? Well, X is going to represent that one. And Y is going to be the number of large pieces. Okay, so I'm going to sell a bunch of small pieces, 670 each one, and a bunch. How many? Well, y is going to tell me how many. And that's it. We are only writing the inequality, right? So that's the answer for number 18. Okay, for slide number 19, um, this is you have Carrie flew from vacation with a heavy bag. With the first airline she flew, Carrie had to pay $30 to check her bag plus $4 every kilogram that her bag was over the weight limit. So all of these are going to have this linear equation. So linear equations, you're going to write it in slope intercept. Um, M is going to be the rate of change. X is going to be how many, and B is the initial value. So all these have this form, just like we've been practicing. So she had to pay $30. It's not 30 plus 30 plus 30. It's just a one-time initial fee of 30. So this is $30 and plus $4 every kilogram that her bag was over. So we're going to add 4 plus 4 plus 4. So she's going to get charged $30 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. And depending on how many times it gets charged over, so that's going to be X, and that's going to be equal to Y. With this other airline, the next flight was with another airline that had the same limit. Carrie had to pay $6 for a kilogram that her bag was over the limit, in addition to the check bag fee of $20. So the second equation is going to be 20 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. So those are your two equations. By coincidence, the fees ended up being the same with both airlines. And then how far over the weight limit was each bag? So each bag, so we're going to solve this equation. Or we're going to set the first equation equal to the second equation. So 4x plus 30, that's how much we're going to get charged. And the other one is going to be 6x plus 20. Okay, so we have variables on both sides. So we're going to subtract that 4x, that's the smallest of the two. And on the left side we have 30. And on the right hand side we have 2x. And I'm going to end up with all my variables on the right. So I'm going to right away subtract 20 from both sides. If I had 20 on the right, I'm going to subtract 20 from the right and the left. And now you have 30 minus 20 is just 10. So 10 is equal to 2x. We're not solving for 2x, we're solving for just 1x. So we divide everything by 2, and x is equal to 5. So Carrie's bag was 5 kilograms heavy, and that's what we were being asked. You're being asked, by coincidence, the fees ended up being the same. How far over the weight limit was the bag? It was 5 kilograms over the weight limit. This is number 19. For number 20, we got Leva that just became a personal trainer and is finalizing his pricing plans. One plan is to charge $40 for the initial fee. So remember, all of these are going to have Y's, the rate of change, MX plus B. Okay, so Levy is one of the plans is to charge $40. So the initial value is $40, and then he plans to charge $30 plus $30 every session. So 30 times however many sessions there is. Okay, that's going to equal to Y. And Levy has another option. He's got another plan to charge $30. So that's the initial fee, the consultation they called it, and $35 per session. So 35 plus 35 plus 35, and depending on how many sessions there is. So we set the first y equal to the second y. So the first equation is 30x plus 40, and we're going to let that equal to 35x plus 30. Okay, we got a bunch of x's, 30x's on the left, 35x's on the right. The smallest of the two is 30x, so 30x's. So I'm going to subtract 30x's from the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation. So that goes away. So on the left side we have 40. But before I write that 40, I'm going to do the difference. 35 minus 30x's is 5x's, and then plus 30. I don't want to solve for 5x plus 30. It's just x. So I'm going to subtract 30 from the right and 30 from the left. That goes away. This is just 5x. And 40 minus 30 is 10. I'm solving for x, not 5x's. So I'm going to divide by 5, and x is equal to 2. Okay? So on this one, we're being asked, what is that cause? So So now that I know that X is going to be the number of sessions, X is the number of sessions. If there's 2 sessions, so how much is that going to cost? So if X equal 2, 30 times 2 is 60. 60 plus 40 is $100. So the answer for number 20 is $100.